Hi everyone. So in this lecture we will see the demonstration of assume true method. So in our JUnit 5 project, in our test folder, I will be creating one class. We'll give it a name as assume true demo. I will keep it in a package. com.hubberspot.junit5.assumptions.assume true. We'll click finish. So friends, in our assume true demo test class, let's see the demonstration of assume true method. So here I will be creating a test as assume true with no message. So here I am demonstrating the assume true overloaded method which doesn't take any message. So I will import @test annotation. So friends, as we discussed in our last lecture, that assumptions are nothing but preconditions that we provide to our test case to check whether our assumptions are true or not. And if our assumptions are true, then we want the test case to proceed further for the execution. And if they are not, then we simply don't want to execute the test case. We simply want to abort the test case. So friends, let's say in this test, I simply provide an assertion, say assert equals, and here I provide an expected value, let's say 3, and let's say I provide an actual value, say 2 plus 1. So I will be importing assert equals. So friends, if I run the test case, we know the test case will execute successfully because here 3 is equal to 3. So friends, here you can see that we have simply provided one assertion which is nothing but assert equals. Also friends, here I will be providing a sysout to demonstrate how assumptions work. So here I will be simply printing assumption passed, and just above the sysout I will be providing an assumption. So friend, let's say I want to execute this test case in dev environment only. So here I can provide an assumption that if this is our dev environment, then only execute this test case. So here I can provide assume true. I will import it from the assumptions class. So here first we will be providing a boolean condition. So let's say I give a boolean condition as so friends, here I am simply providing an assumption that if our environment is dev, then only execute this test case. So currently we haven't set any system property as env. So if I run the test case now, so here you can see the test case got passed, but what happened is our @test got skipped. So here you can see that it shows that 1 skipped, and if I hover over it, you can see it threw test aborted exception saying that assumption is not true because we haven't set any system property as env which matches to dev. So here if I show you the console, then here you can see that our system.out.println as assumption passed didn't got executed, because our test case got aborted at this line only. So here you can see that at line number 12, which is this line, it threw test aborted exception saying that assumption is not true. But it didn't fail the test case, unlike assertions. So it simply skipped the test case. So here we provide the assumptions to first verify that whether this test case is eligible to execute in this particular environment or not. So here I simply tested that if our environment is dev, then only execute this test case. So friends, here let's say I provide a system property as env equal to dev. So here if I simply run it as configuration, so here you can see that we have this VM arguments. So just below it, we'll provide a system property as -d and we'll give a name to it as env. So here we provide a property and a value like this. We append it with -d. So if we run the test case now with this system property, so here you can see that on the console it printed assumption passed. And here you can see that our test case got executed successfully and it even executed the assertion. So friends, this is how we can use assume true method to validate our assumptions. So this is the first overloaded method. Now let's see the demonstration of second overloaded method, which takes a message. So here I simply provide a message, let's say assumption failed, and I simply run the test case without setting the system property. So here you can see that our test case got skipped. It gave test aborted exception, assumptions failed, and it printed our own customized message saying assumption failed. So friend, this was the second overloaded method. Now let's see the demonstration of third overloaded method. So I'll give a name to it as assume true with message supplier. So the scenario remains as it is. So instead of providing a direct string, we provide a supplier function interface whose syntax is something like this. So if I run the test case, you will see the same output. But the only advantage here is this supplier function interface gets evaluated to a string only when our test case is aborted. So here if I run the test case, so here you can see the test case got skipped with a message as assumption failed. So friends, this was the first 3 overloaded method. The other 3 overloaded method works exactly the same, only instead of providing a boolean condition like this here, we supply a boolean supplier function interface whose syntax is something like this. So instead of passing a boolean condition directly, we can supply it by boolean supplier function interface, something like this. So I'll simply change the syntax and apply the lambda expression like this in all the 3 test cases. So if I run all the 3 test cases now, so here you can see all the 3 test cases got skipped because it didn't find any system property by name env and whose value is dev. So if I run it again by providing it a configuration, a system property env with a value dev, if I run it now, you can see all the test cases got executed successfully, and it printed assumption passed 3 times because we have this 3 system.out.println having value as assumption passed. So friends, in this lecture we saw the demonstration of how we can use assumptions, and we saw the demonstration of assume true and its overloaded methods. I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.